Hello and welcome. Well, about 4 years ago, I bought this Thermaltake case, and it is the Versa N24. So I want to share with you my experience with this case, the things I like about it and the things I don't. And there are a few, I suppose. But first of all, let's have a look at the case. Well, it's an ATX size case, so it takes the ATX motherboard. And it has a variety of different ventilation options. You've got two fan ports in the front, and then you've got fan ports in the top, or places you can put your fan, and in the back as well. Oh, noise! Oh, dearie. In the back here as well, we have another place you put a fan there. Plus, obviously, you could put a fan inside onto your power supply if you want. Well, one of my pet hates of this particular case is the power and reset buttons. Now I'm starting with the worst things first, because that, to me, it's absolutely madness. That and that. They stand proud of the case. Now that's a problem for people who might have dogs, or kids running about, or even yourself accidentally leaning on the buttons. So, for instance, if I have a piece of wood here, think of this as something, you lean something against it, and if you listen, you can probably hear it. You can hear the button going in and out, and clicking on and off. So while you're actually doing your work, you can quite easily, through no fault of your own, you're happy with the sandpipe, doing what you're doing, and your computer get turned off, or reset. So ideally, it'd be a good idea has some kind of protection over these, because that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to probably make something to go over them. So there's a hole you have to put your finger in, or something like that, so you don't end up turning your computer off accidentally. Now, I went with Thermaltake because it's not the first time I had a Thermaltake case. And my first Thermaltake case was a full-size tower, and that thing was a beast. It weighed a bomb, it did, but it was so solid. It didn't have much in the way of features, but it was a really good quality, well-made case. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a long while ago now. Probably what? Oh, how long ago would that have been? Probably about 18 years ago. And that was probably my first Thermaltake case. Now this particular one has a window in the side. And, move the side cover so I can show you. Quite easily, just like so. I've took the screws out already. And I'm going to be cleaning this out in a moment, hence that's why I brought it into the workshop, so I can blow out all the nooks and crannies. Something I didn't like about this particular case was the PCIs. There's no additional support. And when you have a heavy old, like a video card like this one, hanging on your PCI port, it's just literally just hanging, it's floppy. It could do a bit of added support, if you ask me. It's just something for it to sit on. Or another slot or something to go at the back. Now that is quite a fundamental problem with a lot of cases anyway. Other features of it I thought were quite good, but don't do a lot, is on the back here, move that out of the way before I knock on the floor, we have a filter. And this filter filters the air that goes into the power supply. And yes, it stops some of it, but no, it don't really do a lot, if I'm absolutely honest. The case still get full of dust in and around the actual power supply, so it's not very helpful. But on the whole, the case is quite solid. Another thing I didn't quite understand is on the top here, where we have additional mountings here for the ports. You know, if you want to put another hard drive up here or something like that, let's say, I don't know, a DVD drive or just another internal drive even. There isn't actually enough room in there to get it in from the front. It doesn't line up properly. A 3.5 inch should be fine, but this particular one, no, I didn't like that. And also, this here, you'd have to cut it, because it's actually part of the moulding of the case. Why isn't that removable? It's silly. It's silly. And Another thing I find a bit annoying about this case, it's got so many nooks and crannies on it, it feels like a blooming dust. And it's not easy to clean, unless you bring it somewhere like this, into the workshop, where you don't mind a bit of dust flying about. You know, they've got filters and stuff up here. It's my woodworking shop, you see. And you don't really want to be blown all around inside your house. But on the whole, I'm actually quite happy with it. My main grumble is the power buttons. I'll show you the back of the case. Give you the options to see what's going on here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 outlets for your PCIs, and obviously your video card as well. So it's actually, yeah, there's plenty of options on the motherboard. I've got in here at the moment, it's fitted with a Tomahawk B350. Like I say, I've done this about 4 years ago, so it's, I'm pretty certain it's about 4 years now. And it has been a very good little machine, if I'm absolutely honest. It's been quite reliable. That's obviously down to the motherboard, not necessarily the case. But I'll use this for video editing, you see, so it's up for an upgrade very soon. But anyway, that's my Thermaltake Versa N24. Do I recommend it? It's probably for the price, so about €120. So for the price, you probably get something better for that sort of money these days, to be honest. And it does have a window in the side, which is quite handy, in the side of the cover as well. But as you can see, it doesn't take long before that window starts getting a little bit opaque. And that's not the dirt on there, that's actually, it was crystal clear, now it's gone a bit opaque. And I don't know why that is, whether it's a light on it or what, or just age. Probably just age, just like me. I'm a bit opaque. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know it seems like a bit of a pointless video, but I just thought I'd just share it with you anyway. My first impressions of this case was quite good, and I did do a video about it when I first got it, actually, putting this computer together, or a few videos. And but now, would I buy it again? Probably not, if I'm absolutely honest with you. I'll leave a link in the description down below anyway, if there is one available via Amazon or something, for which we do get a little commission. But on the whole, would I buy it again? Like I said, probably not. That is a major problem for me. I think that's madness. Makes no sense whatsoever. And then they made this up top here look like it's a CD drive up top there with these extra fake buttons, one there and one there. Get the CD drives there. And that looks untidy. If you ask me, that looks really untidy. It needs something else then, in my opinion. Something, you know, just whether it's the lid opens or something, as the CD drive opens, or something like that. It makes it a bit cheap. Construction of the case is still quite weighty. It's quite a weighty case. But it's actually tinny. In comparison to my old Thermaltake I had years ago, I would say it's tinny and plasticky. It's got all these extra little plastic trims. I know it didn't come like this, I painted them all up. I didn't like how it looked, so I tarted it a little bit. Anyway, that's my little video. Anybody's kind, click like and subscribe. I know it wasn't that interesting, but I thought I'd better share it with you anyway. If somebody is interested in one of these cases, that might be something to think about. Anyway, ta-ta. Don't forget, beat the like button.